interacting system step input. In this system, we are going to determine time constant and we are going to predict the tank height, predict the height of a tank. So what is non-interacting? Non-interacting is, this is the way the tanks are connected. So this is a initial flow rate Q1 which is going into the tank 1. So this is tank 1. So therefore you can see here, this is the height of tank 1 and it is area of tank 1, and R is a resistance wall which is going out from the tank 1 to tank 2, and then this is a flow rate Q1 which is going to the tank 2, and height of tank 2 is H2, area is A2, and outlet will be Q2 and resistance will be R2. So therefore we have, what is important here, the resistance of these are fixed for the experimentation. Suppose if you are going to change this resistance, you can see the increase or decrease in height. So therefore tank height 1 will not have any effect on height 2. Therefore this type of connectivity is called a non-interacting system. So as we know, the simple tank order will be Q1S by Q2S is equal to 1 divided by 2-1S. So this is a first order system. So therefore output by input is equal to 1 divided by 2-NS. What is tau? Tau here, tau is area into resistance. So this is tau 1. What is tau 2? This is area of this tank into resistance. So therefore the time constant will be depends upon the resistance. What is the resistance? Resistance is H by Q. H by Q is a resistance, height by Q. So therefore the flow rate and height are interrelated. As you are increasing the flow rate, you can see the increase in height. As you see the decrease in flow rate, you can see the decrease in height. So therefore this is resistance 1 and this is resistance 2. So therefore Q2 of S divided by Q1 of S, or Q1 of S, is 1 divided by 2 to S plus 1. Therefore you can write tank of height 2, it is tank of height 2 you are going to predict, with the total flow rate will be depends upon resistance R2, tau 1S plus tau 2S. So therefore if you are going to predict the height of this or predict height of a tank, this will be depends upon the resistance. As you open more resistance wall, height will be decreasing, it will go down. If you close, the height will increase. So this is the basic understanding of non-interacting system. Interacting and non-interacting system. So in the interacting system, the systems will be get connected. So this is a tank 1, tank 2 and tank 3. What is interacting? Interacting means tank 1 and tank 2 are interacting. Suppose if I am changing the head in tank 1, it is going to affect tank 2, or the flow rate is coming to the tank 3. So if I am changing the head in the tank 3, it is going to affect tank 2. So this is an interacting system. What is important here is to calculate what is the resistance of the system. So therefore you have to keep the resistance constant, then only whatever the condition I said is right. Otherwise if you are varying the resistance, the level will change. If you completely close it, there is no interaction between tank 1 and tank 2. So therefore we will be keeping the resistance fix here, and water is coming to the tank 3 and it is going to fill the tank 2, and outlet is directly connected to the atmosphere. So if the tanks are connected in this way, then it is called a interacting system. In interacting system, there is a direct correlation between the head and the flow rate. If you increase the flow rate, head will increase. If the head of the 3 will be increasing, you can see the change in 2 also. So if there is a direct correlation, then it is called a tank 1. So if you see non-interacting, okay, you can see here. So this is not there now, and whatever the water which is coming here, directly it is going to the top. So therefore water is coming here and it is going to top. So this is not there. The pipeline is changed to top. You can see here tank 1 and tank 2 are non-interacting. So there is no interaction between tank 1 and tank 2. So this wall is completely closed. So therefore whatever the water will not go enter here, the water will be restricted here only. It will only fill the small tube and later it will be constant. So therefore when you operate the rotameter, it will be going to flow into the tank 1 and the resistance R1 will be fixed based on the resistance opening or resistance wall. This is a wall is nothing but resistance. So that is allowed to the tank 2 and tank 3. There is no direct correlation between tank 1 and tank 2. The head of the tank 1 will not be depends upon head of tank 2. So therefore there is no correlation. Then this type of a interaction is called a non-interaction. Therefore we are going to calculate what is the time constant of a given system, and also we are using the appropriate equation to predict the height of tank 1 as well as height of tank 2. Any one tank height can be predicted using the modeled equation. So here what is the system? System is very simple. You have a tank at the bottom. On the on the top of this tank is fixed. Okay, it is very simple. You can look at it. So this is a system. So you can see this is tank 3 here, this is tank 2 and tank 1, and then you can see here this is a rotameter which you can rotate. Then you can see the connectivity. Suppose if I'll connect, this is the outlet pipe of a rotameter. If I'll connect this to the tank 1, if I am connecting to the tank 1, your system will be non-interacting. See here, it is coming here and it is flowing here and it is flowing, and I am going to close this wall. This is closed, and then this is a resistance wall of a tank 1. You can look at it, tank 1. This is a resistance wall. You try to keep only 25% open. 75% is closed. Okay, very small opening, you can do it, and once if you do it, you leave it. Okay, and also you can see here this is a first tank, and if you allow the water to flow, it is coming to the tank 2, and tank 2 the water can go here. So therefore I have closed this one. Therefore you can see only tank 1 and tank 2 are interconnected. And what about the tank 2? You can see here there is a wall over here. This is connected here, and this also I am going to change. Okay, here this will look like this. Okay, and it is connected to the reservoir. Reservoir is below this. Okay, there is a reservoir, and then later this will be pumped to the tank 1, and then this equipment will have a mains. Connect to the mains and switch on the pump. As soon as you are connecting the mains, the pump will start. Okay, so this is a mains which is connected. This is a power cable, and then I will switch on the main and it started. You can see the sound of pump is there inside, and as soon as you open this wall, you can see here rotameter is moving. You can see here, you can see the movement of rotameter, and if you are connecting here on the top, then it is a non-interacting system. Today we are going to do a experiment of non-interacting. So you understood what is interacting. So this is non-interacting. If you are connecting the inlet of water to the tank 1 and it is flowing to the tank 2, and tank 2 is going to the atmosphere, then it is a non-interacting system. So what is interacting? So interacting, what you do, you just close it and take this pipe and connect to the 3, and you can see here, I'll show. I'll show. It is nothing to do with tank 1. Tank 1 is closed completely. You can see here I have closed this one. Nothing is coming down. Now you can see the increase in level in a tank. The water is flowing, you can see here inside. You can see the water is flowing. And this is a resistance valve. If I'll open, you can see here there is a interaction between tank 1 and tank 2. You can see here, if the head and flow rate of a tank 1 is going to affect the tank 2, you can see here tank 2 is also slowly increasing. You can see here, I'll show. It is increasing, see here. So therefore, if this is the case, then you are in a interacting mode. Okay, this is a difference between interacting and non-interacting. Okay, so therefore today we are going to do non-interacting system step input. For this, connect the flow rate to the tank 1 and maintain the flow rate of 50 LPH. Okay, 50, I have made 50. Make it constant. Once it is constant, you can fix the resistance. I have fixed the resistance. You can see here. Once I will open it, you can see the water is flowing from the tank 1. So this is a tank 1 and it is going down. Okay. So initially you can allow the flow, and then also you can keep the resistance. Resistance I will keep half open, and then wait for steady reading. So fix this resistance valve and fix that resistance valve and keep the flow rate constant. So therefore write down the observation: initial flow rate. What is the initial flow rate? Keep one flow rate and maintain the flow constant to the reactor or tank, and when you will get constant head or height in tank 1 and tank 2, then that is a steady state. What is a steady state? For a given flow rate, the tank 1 height and tank 2 height should be constant. If it is 110, after 110, see here it is increasing, so somewhere it will be constant. So because when input is equal to output, the height will be constant. Here also, when the input is equal to output, so you will get a specific height. Okay, so therefore wait for a while. What you are doing? Allow the flow to the reactor 1 or tank 1 at a constant flow rate, and note down the initial flow rate. What is the initial flow rate? Initial flow rate is 50, and wait until you will get a constant height. See here, almost I am getting a constant height now. Okay, so it is not changing. Okay, and note down initial height of tank 1. What you have to do? Note down the initial height of tank 1. Okay, and then so note down the initial height of tank 2. So it is also almost it is coming same. Some little variation you can see, but it is due to the voltage fluctuation. So as soon as you are getting the same height of a tank 1 and tank 2, note down initial height of a tank 1, initial height of a tank 2, initial flow rate. This is a flow rate. What is the step? Now you can see this is constant now. So your initial LPH is 50. What is the step? Suddenly I am increasing. So it is 50 now, 50 here. Suddenly I am going to increase the flow rate from 50 to 70, and I am keeping there. That is a step change. So therefore what is the step? So for the initial flow rate of a 50, I am increasing to the 70. As soon as you are changing the flow rate to the 70, start the stopwatch. Start the stopwatch. For every change in 10 second or 20 second, note down the height of tank 1 and tank 2. You can see here. As soon as I have changed, the height of the tank is increasing. Note down the height of tank 1 and note down the height of tank 2. So till how long? So until you will get a constant and steady reading of tank 1. Means constant steady means somewhere it is 160, it is going to close. Here also it is 190, it is going to close. Okay, you can see here. So this is a, so therefore this is a end of the experiment. What you are going to note down? So at time interval of 10 second or 15 second, every 15 second, note down what is the change in height of a tank 1, change in height of a tank 2, and do the calculation as per the tabular column, as well as use appropriate equation to complete the calculation. This is end of the experiment number 2. It is a non-interacting step input. And note down these observations. What is the diameter of the tank? Diameter of the tank is 92 mm, 92 mm, and area of tank is pi by 4 di square. If you do it, it is 6.65 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter square. Initial height of a tank 1 is 61 mm. Initial height of tank 2 is 64 mm. Final height of a tank 1 is 92 mm. Final height of tank 2 is 90 mm. Initial flow rate is 50 lph and final flow rate is 60 lph. Conduct this experiment and adjust the flow rate. How you are going to do it? So this is again step input we are going to change. What you do? So you maintain initial flow rate. What is initial flow rate? 50 lph. When you maintain 50 lph, it is a steady state. At steady state, you note down the initial height of tank 1, initial height of tank 2. Note down initial height of tank 1, initial height of tank 2. So therefore, this is the initial condition. So you are noting down what is H1 and 2. What is a tank 1 height and tank 2 height. And then once, if these are constant, suddenly what you do, you increase the flow rate to 60. See here, increase initial flow rate was 50, then you have increased to the final flow rate of 60, and note down final height of a tank at the end of the experiment. So note down what is the final height of tank 1 and tank 2. At the end of the experiment, what is the final height of tank 1 and tank 2. Here we have a time in second 0, 30, 60, 90. Means you can even take a reading at 20, 40, 60, okay, as it is required. And at 0, you can see here initial level of a tank is 64, and as you start the flow rate, with respect to time, the height will be increased. It is 65, then it is 60, corresponding is 69, then it is 90, corresponding height will be 72, then it is 120, corresponding value will be 76, and so on. As the time increasing, the time is increasing, the height is also increasing. Height is increasing. At one time, the final height will be remain constant. Okay, this is how you can do the reading. So this is a tabular column, and these are the observed calculations. First calculation is H2 observed. H2 observed is what? It is 65 minus 64. This is 64 is a steady state. 69 minus 64. 72 minus 64. 76 minus 64. So this is H2 observed. So therefore H2 observed is equal to final height minus initial height. What is the final height? 65. Initial height is 64. Therefore 1. You can see here. So this is 1. First value. And I want to calculate what is the resistance of a tank 1. So tank 1 is here. This is R1. It is going to the second. This is R2. This is R1 and this is R2. So here R1 is dH by dQ. H is what? H is final height minus initial height. So therefore it is in mm. I am writing in 10 to the power of minus 3. dQ is what? Difference in LPH. final level minus initial level into 10 to the power of minus divided by 3600. Therefore R1 is 11160 second per meter square. R2 is dH2 by dQ. So this will be 90 minus 64 into 10 to the power of minus 3, 60 minus 50 into 10 to the power of minus 3, 3600. So therefore resistance 2 is 9360 second per meter square. So this is R1, this is R2. What is time constant? Time constant tau 1 is equal to area into resistance. What is area? 6.65. Resistance it was 11160. So therefore you are getting time constant of a first tank is 74.21. Tau 2 is area into resistance 2. Resistance 2 is here. Then tau 2 is 62.24. Therefore H2 predicted is equal to, use this equation. Okay, this equation is used to predict the height of tank 2. AR2 1 minus tau 1 tau 2 divided by tau 1 minus tau 2, 1 divided by tau. Therefore this is 62.24. 1 minus tau 1 and tau 2 is 74 into 62. This is the value. Tau 1 minus tau 2, 74 minus 62 is 11.97. And 1 divided by tau 2 e to the power of t. First time is 30 seconds. Okay, 30, and you can do it. You will be getting 4.6. Similarly, do the calculation for all the values and plot the graph of H2 observed and H2 predicted versus time. You will get predicted and observed. So therefore you will get a time constant, write down, and verification of the step response. They will look like a step. And conclusion, there is a gradual increase in the height was observed. So this is end of the experiment. Okay.